Hi there, welcome back to my scrap space. It's Shauna, and today I wanted to show you guys some of the things I've got going on my crazy messy desk here. I was watching Pam at the Paper Outpost, and she had a video on using up book page, and it is making these really fun pockets, and I have really enjoyed folding them and making them, and it's so super easy. So I just wanted to make a quick video and maybe make some of these with you guys, and we can have some really great pockets. What's so cool about this pocket too is that it's actually a quad pocket, so you can put something here and here and here and then in the back there. And then, I mean, depending on how you glued it, you could also have a pocket or a tuck over here. Probably not in the back because you've already got one back there. So anyways, let me show you how quick and easy these are, and then we'll get to decorating these ones. I've got some really fun ideas to decorate these. So any book page will work that you have. Might change the size of your pockets a little bit, but the idea is to use up your book pages. So you just fold it like this. You don't have to worry about the specifics really. It does work out. I found I kind of like, she makes them this way in her video, Pam at the Paper Outpost, and I kind of like making them the reverse with the pocket on the little pocket on the left side. So it is easy to change it up just a little bit. Okay, so fold your book page like this, so you've got some two little points up here. Our goal is to look like this. So you fold it once and then again, and so if you fold this side in, this is how you get your pocket on the right. And you fold if you folded it the other way, you'd get it the other way. But we'll just go with this for now. This is how she did it in her video. And then this one, you can tuck it like that, or you can glue it under, depending on how you like it, and leave this. I've got one I left like this, and I'll show you why later. I'm going to use a brad right there, and it's going to look really cute. But for now, we'll just go ahead and do it like this. And once you've got it all tucked, you can just go ahead and straighten it out and crease it up. And that is all there is to it. These, it doesn't really matter if they're even or not. One, it's a junk journal pocket, and two, you can cut it, or really it's not going to be seen anyways. So let's go ahead and get inking and gluing on this pink one. If you've been following along, I was super excited for this noodle box, and this is why I've made a 3 signature junk journal. I haven't decided on the cover yet, so I'm going to work on that here eventually. But that's what most of these pockets are for, is for this beautiful botanical tea themed. Really, for me, it's more about the hummingbirds and birds that are in here. I really wanted to make a journal with some pretty flowers and birds, and we'll get going. And if you watched my last video on the die cutting, I did put this double tag in here, this large scallop tag. So it's in there, and let's see, where's the other side of it? It's sewed in really nicely. So one side there, and I've got one in each signature, so it's pretty cool. All right, well, let's keep going. So I'm doing pinks and blues in that journal. One of these pockets I have is for the sunflower journal that I still have actively in the works, but we'll get to that one in a second. So this one, I tore my papers to size. And this one folds all these pieces. So instead of folding like this one, we folded this part up this way, you just fold it like this. So like this instead of like this. So you fold it up like that, and your little tuck spots on the left side instead of the right side. And that seems to be more pleasing to my eye. You can do it either way. I've done a little bit of both. I like them both, but having things on the left side seems to be my go-to. Okay, so got some Versamagic ink. Just gonna ink some things. This one is Perfect Plumeria. And we'll start a little bit here on this book page, see how it looks. It's got kind of a subtle look to it. I really like that. It can go definitely a little darker too. I've got some mulberry paper out. I haven't played with that in a long time, but I do really like the look of adding some mulberry paper. Now, up here in this hole, I usually like to put an eyelet or a brad or some ribbon or something. So for right now, I'm just going to put a brad in there, kind of remind me to think about it later. Maybe the brad will just stay. I'm not totally sure. We'll see what it looks like. These are just some really pretty brads from Recollections, so from Michael's. And it's got a cute little flower on there. Ooh, that one broke. Great. Little prong fell off. So if something like that happens, this is not for nothing. I will still probably use it in another project and just hot glue it on, but I do need a working brad in this situation, so let's try another one. These little prongs are kind of fragile on these ones. They're pretty thin, which is great as far as keeping the bulk down, but also need it to be functional. There we go. Okay, so that does look pretty cute. Go ahead and set this one aside for a second, and gonna try one of these little brushes. Put some ink on here. This is chalk ink. It's one of my, I either use this or Distress ink the most, really. I guess that's not totally true. I also use some pigment ink, but I'm gonna unfold it just a little bit and really put some ink on the edges so you can have a clear definition of where the pockets are. This is some coffee dyed book page, so we've already got some kind of cool markings here on the edging. And don't worry, these fold up real easily. I think that's what I thought was so neat about it. It was just like 3 little steps, good to go. Just on the edge down here. All right. So just like with the other ones, you could still tuck this in if you like a cleaner look like that. I think I'm going to on that one. Okay. Then I am such a creature of habit. I like to just hold things and do the inking this certain way, and once you've done it that way for so long, it's just the way it works. All right, we'll go ahead and ink these pages too. Have that all done. This is a good way to use up some scraps too, because you just need these little pieces. Okay, set that aside. So I've already kind of torn these just to match up here. And this one's fun. I found this little bag of mulberry scraps that I had, and they're perfect for these pockets. I'll move a little more into the view here. That's a little better. Okay. And I think tucking that in changed the way this looks, so I think maybe I'll just leave it like this because I really wanted to feature this rose. And allow yourself the freedoms to just kind of go with the way that things work. If you like it a certain way, it doesn't have to be like the way that you initially planned. Okay, so I've got a little piece here that's not covering the book page, but that's okay. I'm going to do a little bit of some stamping on here, and we'll just go with the flow and see how it works here. You can see my pen marks here. I just took this flap open. I lined up the edge of the paper like this. Put this flap open, put a marker in or a pen line, and just tore around it so that I could get the correct shape, keeping this corner edge straight. If you are a measurer, that's totally okay too. I like to just kind of, I used to say eyeball it, but that in my current situation just doesn't really seem like it works anymore. Trying to get that to move just a little bit. There we go. All right, so see if I folded this one on this side, it would be completely covered with the paper, but then I lose some of the bottom of this rose, and I really kind of like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it this way. Don't necessarily have to glue it until later, so I could still change my mind if that's what I want to do. So this is a piece of the mulberry paper. And it is cut into a little scallop on this one. So I just thought it would look really pretty over this edge down here. And it just kind of softens this pink of the pattern paper and gives a little added texture. Just hit a little bit of the edges with some of this ink. It's okay to leave this stuff plain too. You don't have to ink if you don't like that look, or if you don't have ink. All right. Maybe I'm gonna use some glue stick on this one. This mulberry paper is super thin. It's very fibrous, but it's very thin. So adhesive, just use, whatever makes you most comfortable or what fits your medium. Okay. I want that scallop to be kind of right in the corner. All right. So really, I just wanted that there for some texture and to kind of lighten that bright pink. And then this is a Stampscape stamp. It's pretty old. Yeah, 1996. So another one of those vintage supplies that I have in my stash, but it still works great and still looks pretty new actually. These are one of my favorite stamps, and I collect these ones. But I really like this, how it just has a little bit of some texture. So I'm just gonna stamp along Not gonna see a lot of it, but just kind of adds some color and some texture back there. And maybe over here too. Okay. Rub this. That's usually all I do to clean my stamps, is just rub them on a damp cloth or a baby wipe. And then I had this piece of, it was in my mulberry stash. I think it is some mulberry paper, but I think I put some Mod Podge on it because it is a little different, like more sturdy, I guess. More, kind of got a crunchy feel to it. Anyways, I thought it would be really pretty hanging out back here. And I think I'm just going to leave the edge like this. Usually with mulberry paper, I will wet the edge a little bit and tear it, because then you get these really fun edges that look a little frayed, and that's kind of fun, and you can see the fibers of the paper. That's what I did for this one. We'll work with that one in just a minute. But I think this one I'm just going to leave like that, because this tag will go in the back. And I have this other stamp here. This is just a Hero Art stamp. Not totally sure what the name of it is. Oh wait, can we see it? It says Slanted Tree. There we go. Okay, but I really just kind of want it more for the flowers, and I'm gonna stamp on this big tag. And put this here. Yeah, that's great. Just kind of adds some little flowers in the background, kind of faded and muted. Okay. So not a lot of details there from that stamp, but I'm good with that. I just kind of wanted something subtle. And then I'm not totally sure if I'm going to do something else to this tag or not, but ink, stamp, and a brad, that's at least 3 things, which is good. And we'll go ahead and put this tag in this pocket back here. Now see how it kind of covers up these little folds? You could tuck these behind if you wanted to. I'm not too worried about it because it's going to glue down. Let me find the other little tags that I had to go in these pockets. I also had a piece of this ribbon. I was thinking about maybe I could add a piece of it like right there so that little butterfly sticks out. Adds another little hint of something. Kind of stacked all this stuff up to work on another project, and now it's all kind of mixed around. Let's see. There it is. Okay, so this is a tag that I had from an old basic gray paper pack, and I thought it would just be really cute. Stuck right there. And then I have some of these other little tags. You could easily stick those ones in there. This little tuck at the bottom would also be great if you had like a little postage stamp. You could stick it in there. So many possibilities with these great pockets. I just love them. So if we put this butterfly here, might not see it really because there's room for other tuck spots. So I guess it just kind of depends on which pockets you plan on using. But you can load them all and be just great. I don't know if I'm going to put that one in there or not, but okay, we'll call that one done for now. And let's go ahead and work with this this sunflower one because I think it's gonna have to dry an extra few minutes. We'll close up this pink ink. And I'll get out my favorite Jumbo Java ink. All right, so this one, I kind of misjudged the cutting of this piece of paper, so I'm just going to kind of collage it back together to cover this space. This is a piece of the napkin that I was using in my sunflower journal, and so I'm going to use the piece of napkin to cover this part, and we'll see how that goes. I think it's going to look really great. So I'm going to cover this with a lot of glue here. Keep that napkin on there. This napkin, of course, has been, the plies have been taken apart so that it's good for decoupaging or sticking on here. I've torn the edge, and this top piece you can either tear off at your edge or wrap it around, whichever you want to do. Sometimes I try to just tear it off because every little piece of bulk starts to count once you're putting it in a journal. Or even a scrapbook page. These little pockets would be great on a scrapbook page. Okay. Those little tabs I'm just going to tuck under. And so you're going to not see a lot of this floral piece if we leave it that way. We could tuck it this way here. And I think I might go ahead and keep it just like this. I really like that. And got a little extra glue. Okay, and then maybe if we're folding it this way, it's not going to worry, or it's not going to be too big of a deal that this doesn't perfectly line up. I love sometimes how things just have a way of working out. Let's see. I think I had this in this way. But just kind of puzzle it. Yeah, like that. Okay. I'll hit this with some ink on the edge here. And this is kind of a fun look that I actually kind of like when you have to puzzle the pieces together. Looks like maybe it was broken and you try to, try to save it or put it back together. Okay. Some ink on this one. It would be really pretty on these too. If you're stamping, you could emboss. That would be really fun. Lots of possibilities with these great pockets. Okay. And we have this little piece here. Lots of pieces, but it is working. This little piece right here is damp from when I just dabbed that glue off, so just be careful and mindful of that. And then I found this little piece here, which I really liked. I think maybe we'll just stamp some of this brown ink. This is another piece of the mulberry paper, and instead of having the scallops be in the corner. This one, the scallops are just on the edge. Just kind of a fun look. I'll just get one up there too. Okay. Once this dries, I'm going to go ahead and put a brad probably right there. When you're putting brads in pockets or eyelets in pockets, you want to make sure you're paying attention to keeping the pocket functional if that's your intention. Otherwise, if you don't care if that piece is functional, just go ahead and work away. All right. Add some ink on the side here. And I can always add some more ink when putting it in the journal too. And then I also had this little scrap. Let me see. Ah, yes, right here. So a couple scraps from the journal. And this is another scrap of the napkin. And it was just like a perfect rectangle, so I thought I would just make another little tag. So I found another scrap here, kind of ripped the edge, or go ahead and ink it, and tried to make it a similar rectangular shape. And I'm just gonna go ahead and make a tag out of that too. The back of this paper is white, so that's kind of nice. We'll just put some ink on there too. Perfect for journaling. Or if you just want to glue it down, that's an option too. This could just be a page decoration. So we'll put that on there. I think I'm going to leave it a little sideways like this. Probably would drive my husband crazy, but that's okay. I kind of like things a little off center, at least sometimes. There's this framing business in the next town over from us, and they have one of their windows that is like off kilter really bad. Like it's turned, like if this is straight, it's like this. And it kind of drives them crazy every time we drive by. I think something like that would kind of drive me a little nuts too if it was something I had to see every day. But okay, go ahead and glue this down. In crafting, it totally works. Now, when you're trying to move this around, be really careful because it is very fragile. Just being that single ply. There we go. And we'll smooth out this glued edges here. I think it looks really great. And then I have this piece of paper that's also a scrap from the journal. So this pattern is already in the journal. You can make a little, like you could make a cute little tab like this and staple it on there. I'm going to cut it off back here so that it's not this bulky. I just need this little piece. And then I'm going to put a brad up there, so we'll attach this with a brad. Oop. And you can keep your tab on one side, which is good if you want to journal. But we're going to have a hole poked through it anyways because of the brad, so I may have to wind up putting something on the other side to kind of cover it. So go ahead and poke a hole. I like to use the smaller one when I'm doing brads. Whoops. So, and then we'll put one of these brads here, but I wanted to use one of the bigger ones. These have a great floral pattern on them. Almost looks like sunflowers. And you just fold these little tabs down. Okay, so there's that. And there's our cute little tag just made from some napkin scraps and paper scraps and a brad. This could also fit in here in one of the pockets because you still have the same 1, 2, that's kind of cute. 3, it could go there, that would be pretty. Or in the back. This one I cut the little tabs off the back up here because my journal is shorter for this one. So I just cut it to fit. So there's our sunflower one and a tag. I'm gonna let those dry a little bit. And then I have this blue one. And I did get all of these ready to go just for the sake of the video. You guys wouldn't have to sit and watch me cut and everything down to size. This one, I wanted to put in a little bit of some glittery tulle. This has been like one of my favorite things to use lately, but I think it would be really cute just peeking out right there. So we'll just cut a little strip. And I just glue this down when I glue my paper down, and it just stays in place. It's not very, I mean, it's tulle, so it just stays there. So I think this would be really pretty on this edge right there. You could also put lace or some kind of trim. The possibility with these pockets is just amazing. Yeah, I think that's gonna be really pretty right there. Gives a little sparkle without using too much of a glittery mess. All right, so I'm gonna jump back to this blue, Agent Blue. Again, this is chalk ink. I'll just get these edges all good to go. You can see my pencil lines. I just opened it up and traced again like I did on the other one. If you don't like the torn look, you can always just cut it straight to match the folds there. Let's see. And let's open this up here, get some ink down. Oops. And I put that tag in the back there. I think I still had some brown ink in there, but that's totally okay. This is the back side. Anyways. And this paper I can feel has been coffee dyed just very ever so lightly. get some things glued down here. Go ahead and glue. This is the one that's getting the tool, so we'll glue that first. And I like to just use a little bit of liquid glue, put it on here. And then stick the tool there. How much you let hang out from the side is totally, again, preferential. I like a little bit though. Just put some glue on this too. So glitter tool kind of glues a little like lace, so you know, you want to make sure you don't stack anything on it too soon. It does need a little time to completely dry. It would be really pretty if you sewed this line too. I'm not much of a sewer lately in my current situation. Okay, so we'll put this back here. And then this one, I had this piece and I just thought it'd be really cute if it was just right there, and I left all those good frayed edges. So again, to get those frayed edges, you just want to tear this mulberry paper. It is really fragile. You can see like right through it. So use, you know, a wet Q-tip or a wet paintbrush, like a water brush, and just kind of dab along and then just pull ever so gently. You can also tear it. This is the same paper that you use if you were a crafter during the tear bear craze. I remember scrapbooking, and some of the pages with tear bears on it were selling for $300 and $500. It was crazy, just for these little mulberry made paper piecings. Okay. So I just used a little glue stick, glued this down. I don't want to glue this to this because I still want it to be a pocket. And then this one, I do have a little bit long on the edge down here, which might be okay, we'll see. Yeah, that's fine. I like how that tool just sticks out the bottom there. Then I was going to put this in here too, I think, and maybe glue that piece down. Some of it you won't see because of a tag that you might put in there, or a piece of paper, or whatever you want to put in there. Put some ink on this one. I kind of went back and forth on this one, but I do really like this flower, and I think it will go nicely in the journal that I'm putting it in. I had another piece of that little mulberry paper I was going to put on the corner, but it is not visible to me right at this minute. So we'll see if I find it. This desk is such a mess, and everything seems to want to fall on the floor. Just while I've been making this video, the glue to this, the lid to this glue and the lid to my glue stick have both fallen on the floor. It's like a game of pickup. You turn this camera on and instantly some things just do what they want to do. Okay, so I think this one's turning out really nicely. And I wanted to put this hummingbird kind of right on the corner. Now the reason I'm going to put it on the corner is because I still want this to be a tuck spot right here. In fact, that little tag is pretty cute. And then we also have another tuck spot here. I could have made this one into a tuck spot, but honestly, it's kind of a little overkill, I think. So at some point, I like to just have some decoration too. So just add some ink to this little hummingbird. I think I'm going to put most of the glue kind of down here and just in this one wing, and we'll let the rest of it just kind of be. And maybe as I'm putting this into a journal, I'll put a paper clip or something nearby just to kind of keep it glued there. And I'm okay if this little piece sticks off there because it's gonna go inside of a journal, so it's gonna lay flat. I just realized if I wanted to glue that piece of mulberry paper, I need to find it. So weird, at the beginning of the video, I had it right here, and you guys probably see it, and I don't. Let's see, we'll start cleaning up here just a little bit. Ah, there it is. This one is actually really cool because it's got some pattern in it. So just rub a little glue on here and lay this one down. I didn't stamp on this one because I feel like I don't really need to do the same things on all of them, but, and we've got this other little decoration back there. Okay, so just need to ink this one and pop it in there and we are all good. And it was just that super quick to make all of these pockets. I just love them. They're super simple. Help use up some book page and some scraps. Just wonderful. Maybe we'll put a little bit of these flowers on this one too. And maybe just at the bottom. There we go. Yeah, that looks really great. Okay. And so, got all of our pockets. And then I'll probably put a brad or some ribbon or something up there. So these turned out really fun. I'm so excited to have seen Pam's video from the Paper Outpost and be able to share some of my own ideas and so forth with you guys. I hope you make some of these pockets. Again, this is what they look like when you fold it. Simple 3 folds. And then when you decorate them, you can make them look so nice for inside your journals, just like this. And then don't forget, I also showed you guys making this cute tag just out of a napkin scrap and a paper scraps. So another good way to use up some scraps. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure you give it a big thumbs up, like and subscribe, and I hope you guys are staying healthy and safe, and I'll see you in the next video.